Hi, everybody. I apologize for not being on here last week. I do have two subtopics, so I might make a video today and then one tomorrow morning, my time after work. I want to apologize because I was going to come on last week and I have this adapter for my iPhone so I can plug jacks into my lightning my lightning cord thingy do. And I have it at work and I accidentally left it there a while ago. And then I can't find my earphones, my little ear pods, but I noticed on here they don't work anyway. And then I was not planning on taking the whole week off. I was planning on going back to work last Monday, but I've had to take some time off for me, so I took off 40 hours for mental health, so I could have a mental health kind of recoup. Just some things in my personal life that has really just made me super sad. And that's okay. It's okay to feel sad and sorrow, just as long as you can get out of it. So I'm getting help, just to be, open with you guys and honest. I have a brother that does mushroom therapy, and he knows that I'm highly allergic to mushrooms and fungus and stuff, but he knows a way of extracting the part of mushroom that is not that does not have allergens in it, but that is therapeutic. And he is the founder of I think it's called Mushroom Therapy Coalition for the state of Utah, trying to get mushrooms for therapy legal. And he's done a lot of help with that. But anyway, until I can go in and see my therapist, which is sometime in June, I'm seeking help from him. Not as a band-aid, but just so that I can deal with some issues that I need to deal with. I am an empath, and so my viewpoint of the world and how I feel and how I think is different from other people. And sometimes it's really hard, but other times it's really easy. But it's hard for me as an empath to focus on caring for myself. And I've kind of let that go, and I need to bring that back to me. I need to, so I learned some techniques. I'll talk about it another time. But, so with all of that, I do apologize, but I am back, people. You can't keep me away for too long. I've already done that, and it's not good for anybody, is it? And I know you guys just all have missed me. Yay, I can hear everybody clapping. Yay, Dee's here. No, I'm joking. Probably, I don't know. Well, and I have to say thank you so much to every one of you new subscribers. I think I have 4 since just I think even a week ago, and I'm just so amazed. I love every one of you, and I just cannot believe that you guys are here, and I love that. And thank you so much. Thank you. And if you guys keep on continuing to follow me and watch my videos and all of that good stuff, I really have some great, even better things for this for this channel that I want to do is just that I've said it before. I'm not at a point in my life where I can quit my full-time job and just do this 8 hours a day, but I would love to. That would be amazing. But every chance I get, I will be on here, and I really have some great ideas for this, and I really want it to go places, and I have some really, really cool ideas too. So please stick with me. I promise it will get better and better and better and better. I promise you it will. Okay? Good things are going to happen to all of us, especially if you are like subscribing to me. No, I'm joking. No, but it's true. Anyway, so this past week, what I had found is I wanted to talk about haunted woods, haunted forests, quote unquote haunted. I don't know. I say they're haunted, maybe enchanted, the folklore of enchanted woods and that kind of thing. But as I was digging into it, it's very difficult to find like actual things that have happened. And I don't know. I need to start going to the library like on Fridays and Saturdays and really looking into archives that way. Because I want to present all of this like in an amazing way. So what I did find was something that I heard about. I can't even remember the man's name. I say man, but he's old enough to be my son. I can't even remember his name, but he speaks with a Irish or English accent. No, it's not from that chapter. Mikey. I love the kid or guy. I love him. I follow him. I watch him. It's not from that. It's from another man. I'm sorry, I say kid to anybody that's like 15 years younger than me, and he's 100% old enough to be my son, so I'm calling him kid. I do apologize for that. But I can't even think of his name. Anyway, he's very interesting. He does a lot of missing people, kind of strange occurrences, but a lot of missing people. Anyway, I can't think of his name right now. He is on YouTube. I do apologize for not remembering his name. I'm going to try to find it. But anyway, so I heard about this from him maybe a year and a half ago. No, it was about a year ago or so. And it was still kind of a little bit newish. And so I wanted to guys let you know about this. So in the Indonesian jungles and Indonesia, Malaysia area, there's a lot of like weird, crazy things happening. I mean, we all have heard just in the past like 5 or 6 years, there have been how many missing planes that just like have vanished in that area, like the Indonesian planes, and then there was one plane that had crashed, and it was just a very odd situation that had happened. If you guys recall, I hope you do, because I totally remember it. But anyway, and at about that same time, so this was about maybe 4 years ago, like 2018, 2019-ish. Oh, 2019, December of 2019. Let's talk about it. So this girl, I've got all of these notes because there's all these other stories before then. Okay. So, okay. Here we go. There was a family from London who went on a holiday to a resort in Seremban. It is 40 miles south of Kuala Lumpur, which I believe is Indonesia. The capital of Indonesia is Kuala Lumpur. So the family arrived anywhere between 9:30 and 10 p.m. at the resort. There was a mother, father, and their 2 kids. And this was in August of 2019. And they had put their kids to sleep. They had this kind of a suite, it sounds like, because they had this like living room kind of area. They had bedrooms. It sounds like the resort that they stayed in was kind of like like a family bungalow kind of place, where it was more like a home away from home, from what I gather. I could be wrong. People don't get angry at me if I get some things wrong. But anyway, and so by the next morning, so when everybody got up, their daughter, Nora, and I'm going to slaughter this last name, and I do apologize. I don't have any knowledge in the Irish, in Celtic, so I apologize, but it looks like Quoirin, I think. I'm not sure. But it's Quoirin, Quoirin, I believe. But Nora, she went missing. She was 15 years old. She was born with, I'm going to slaughter this too, holoprosencephaly, holoprosencephaly. And it is a disorder that it affects your brain development. So she wasn't much of talking, and it affects the brain. It affects like how some people they don't balance correctly. They can't walk right all the time. Sometimes they do, but they also kind of might appear like they're on the autism spectrum, even though it's not really. But different surroundings can affect them differently. And she was not a wanderer. She was afraid because she couldn't speak. But her parents could understand her, and same with her brother. She had a brother and a sister, so there are 3 kids, mom and dad. And so volunteers, police, local people who even know the surrounding jungle all went out to help look for her. And they started immediately. As soon as mom and dad woke up, they realized that, oh my gosh, where is she? Looks all around the bungalow resort, looks all around outside. They immediately notify the people at the front desk, or the workers at the resort, who also immediately notified the police. And they could not find her anywhere. They walked everywhere they could, and they even used these local people that are very familiar with this part of the jungle. And the jungle is very difficult because it's constantly growing, it's constantly changing. And these people that live there and work in the jungle and such, they knew how to navigate the jungle to even look for someone, because it changes so fast. They called out to her for hours. They could not find her anywhere. So then they brought in dogs. And these dogs were not able to find her. They would go and they would stop at a certain point, but they couldn't find the dogs. Got disoriented, and the jungle's very, very difficult with that because there's so many smells, there's so many things that are happening, and the dogs couldn't even find her. But her scent, after a while, her scent would become lost. And so they would go by all of these areas once, twice, 3, 4 times, looking and looking and looking for her. And 11 days later, she was found. After she went missing, she was found under a tree in the water near a brook, but she was part way in the water and part way out, and she was laying in the fetal position, which is also really odd because of one thing. They had already searched this area, like probably, couple hundred people had gone over this, had gone over this area over and over and over again, and they still could not find her. And so all of a sudden she's found, and she was in a fetal position. She was naked but not touched, meaning that her body had not been defiled in any way, and there was no signs of abuse to the body or before she died. There were no signs of a struggle. She was found dead, and there were no signs of how this happened. Like, she was just found there after they had searched that area several times throughout those 11 days, several times. And so the coroner, so when that happened, an inquest was opened about what had happened to her. And the coroner had to determine if this was murder. The site where she was found was, like I said, repeatedly searched for before, like several times. So the first initial post-mortem report stated that Nora died of gastrointestinal bleeding from hunger and stress due to a long period of not eating and being out in the elements. Well, authorities said that that Nora had left her room out of her own volition, which is highly disputed, especially because of her disabilities. She would never leave her mom's sight. It was too different of a surrounding for her to leave, and she was not the kind to wander, and she was not as you would say, a regular 15-year-old, which some girls would go, no, I'm going to go walk outside on my own at 10 o'clock. Who cares? She was not like that. So there's no way that she left it at her own volition. Parents, and she had never wandered off alone before either. In Nora's room, they found that a window was opened. The parents told the police that after everybody was getting settled and they, put the kids down and all of this, they went through the entire bungalow area, and they closed all the windows and all the outside doors and locked them to make sure that they were secure. And so they had done that, and that is a habit that they even did in London or wherever else they went. They would lock the doors and windows before they went to bed. And so, in a bunch of other reports that the police came out, they said that they believed that Nora had left the window open. In all of this, Nora's feet were not bloody. And that is very interesting and very important. And the reason why is because she was naked, right? She had no shoes. And being in the jungle and being in even a forest, if you are, and she was found about a mile to a mile and a half from where the resort was. And she was found in this deep jungle area. And she would have cuts and scrapes and bruises on her feet because it's really rough in the jungle, right? Even in the woods, you would have scratches and scrapes, or your feet would be dirty even. She didn't have any of that. They were not bloody, they were not damaged, even though she was barefooted and believed to have walked a mile in the jungle with no shoes. Her body was said to be near a stream, like I said, when it was found. So she went missing August after 10 p.m., but before they woke up in the morning, which was probably around 7:30 or 8 in the morning. And so she was missing between that time. And and then 11 days later they find her, and it was of kind of mysterious ways of how they found her. They could not determine a death. They could not determine if she was murdered or if she died in the elements, but they were trying to keep it open to murder, because it's harder to reopen it if it's murder than if, any other reason. So anyway, just in case it was murder, then they have already opened that it's murder so that they can catch the person if there was. So January 2020, so that's, let's see, August, September, October, November, December, January. So 5 months after they had opened the inquest, the inquest was considered finished, and the coroner and medical examiners remained insistent that Nora died by misadventure in the jungle. And then by June of 2021, so a year and maybe 6 months later, 5 months later abouts, the courts overturned her cause of death. So we have heard all of these different kinds of stories, and this story is like, I don't want to focus on Nora and her family. I mean, I cannot even imagine. I lost my son one time for a few hours at Disneyland, and I was in a huge panic. And then when I found him at the lost parents section, he's like, "I don't want you to find me, go." And so I was more scared than he was. But I just cannot imagine what her parents went through, because when my kids were at the mall and stuff and they'd run away from me, oh my gosh, it was like the scariest thing in the world. But this is on 1,000-time magnitude than ever me. And so we have heard of these kind of stories, and more stories of missing people in jungles and forests and national parks here in the United States, and national forests here in the United States. And then there's missing people in England and in the continent of Europe, and in Ireland. There's like, people are vanishing. it almost as though they just like evaporate and they have no idea where they are. They'll leave clothes behind. They'll leave like their guns behind if they are hunters. They'll leave things that just don't even make sense behind. We've heard this like a lot. And it seems like it's getting more and more like that. And so sadly, we just do not know exactly what happened to Nora, but her family has, I believe, hired a private investigator and has hired people to try to help figure out what happened. The family is under a hunch that maybe she was taken. They're not quite sure. But the family's like, there's just, it's like an unsolved mystery is what I'm trying to say. So if you guys know of anything else about Nora and the story about her going missing at the resort, and you guys know more than I have given here, please comment below. It's very fascinating. I got the story from just like 3 or 4 different archives of newspapers. One of them from London, and then 1 or 2 from Indonesia, and then 1 from India. But if you guys know of any more stories that would help further this, let me know in the comments. We'd love to hear about it. I couldn't find any updates, so if you guys know of any updates, please let me know. We don't want to forget little Nora and anybody else that goes missing or that is found dead and had been missing for a long time. We don't want to forget these victims of unsolved mysteries, and so just let me know. I know this wasn't paranormal per se, but I just wanted to bring this awareness again. Hopefully somebody out there knows something that we don't know. So I just wanted to tell you guys, I hope you liked today's story. I want to get more missing people kind of stories and mysteries, unsolved mystery kind of stories. It could be under the para weird, maybe it's not. We don't know. Sometimes there is a connection. And I want to do more stories about, forests and jungles and that kind of thing. So I close with, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening to my channel. I have like more stories about missing people, but I'll keep it like that for now since this video is almost a half hour long. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I will see you here real soon for another one that I chose. It's going to be kind of cool, I think. So have a wonderful week, and I come in love and peace, and I leave in love and peace. And have just a fabulous rest of your night. Take care, everyone. I'll see you real soon.